What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Making Podcasts Great Again. I am your tech stuff guy, Jay Nog, and we are here, of course, with the President of the United States of America, Mr. Donald J. Trump. Mr. President, craziness going on. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling very strong. I had a great conversation this morning with, a great leader, Herman Cain. We talked about a lot of good things. He had some strategies. So
Wait. You spoke to Herman Cain. Herman Cain is dead, Mr. President.
he died today.
He died a few months ago. How did you talk
Uh,
to him?
well, no, well, he was in my strong bedroom giving me advice. So I don't know. But we're feeling very good. We're looking into more social media. I've told all my followers to find me on Adult Friend Finder. So we're doing. That's where we're now conducting most of our social media operations. They can't stop me. They can't stop President Trump.
Now, Mr. President, I wanted to ask you about the storming the Capitol. You did elicit some sort of you're drinking a beer, Mr. President. You
Well,
don't
it's
drink.
we have a little bit of a sponsor. We're trying to do some sponsorships because of the cash flow seems to be a little tight now with everybody refusing to host my Trump store. The credit card companies are running. So Budweiser, the official beverage of MAGA.
Now, I this is
And did
crazy,
you see how they gave me? They gave me sort of the strong flannel shirt and the Budweiser. So now I can sort of slip through my own people.
Mr. President. This has forced you to drink. The storming of the Capitol has pushed you to have your first alcoholic beverage ever.
Uh, oh well, okay, yeah. No, well, you know what? We're in tough times, and I think I wanted to show my MAGA supporters that I am with them in spirit and racism and beverage.
Well, Mr. President, speaking of your MAGA supporters, I was able to track down one of the, can I put in quotes, protesters from the storming
Oh,
the
well,
Capitol.
no, I would say if you could put into those quotes, patriot protester.
Patriot protester. Okay.
And now I'd like you to take away the quotes because that feels very sarcastic, and this is obviously a great patriot.
I want to welcome. He was there. He stormed the Capitol. Um, he is from Erie, Pennsylvania. His name is Brian Richardson. Brian, you are on with the President of the United States of America. Brian, how are you?
Hello? 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 Does this work? Hello?
It does. You see that see what the deep state is doing. They're trying to shut down his cell phone because he's a patriot.
Hello?
I just don't think
Hello?
he's used Zoom before, so I think that's the problem he's
Well,
having.
he probably
Hello?
knows that it's a China app.
Um,
Hello? Oh my God. Oh my oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. It is the president. Hello. I love you. Oh my God. I
And
can't
I
I,
love
I
you.
can't
I love
I
you.
love I love you, Mr. President. I will do anything for you. With my family had a black dog and we got rid of it because of what you've been saying. And I mean I got rid of all my black clothes. I'm just and you say the word, I'll die for you. I pray to you every night. Oh my God! Hello.
Are those
wow.
glasses black rimmed glasses?
I don't need them. I don't want them. I'm
Well,
legally
okay.
blind, but that's you say the word, and I will just. I am your bidder. I will do the bidding, and I just show. I'm talking to the president right now. Yes, that's so much excited. It's a MAGA revolution,
Well,
and
we
I'm
like
in.
that.
I'm in New York City. I escaped the capital, and no one's gonna find me in this city of liberal cuck queer mongers, and I'll blend in and I'll sleep with a man if you say the word, and I'll do it to be covert in this city of sin.
That's it. You hear that tech stuff, guy? You've never shown that strong support for your president,
I have
and
never offered to sleep with another man for you. Not yet.
that's Mike Pence level commitment right there.
I call my wife Donald. I really do. I do.
Well, I don't know how I feel about that. That might be a little too much.
Uh,
I'll never do it again.
um, Brian, we there's some
My
you
full
storm.
name, Brian Jeffrey Richardson.
Okay.
I don't
Ooh,
care who knows it. I'm from Erie, Pennsylvania. You're never gonna get me.
okay. Brian Jeffrey Richardson. Um, you were at the storming of the Capitol. Did you happen to pass the man who died? He tased. We wanted to have a moment of silence tonight for one of the people there, Mr. President. Yeah, I got your note. There was a man from Alabama who was up on a table trying to rip down a painting, and he had a taser in his
Yep.
pocket. He fell
Yep.
and tased himself in the testicles repeatedly and gave himself a heart attack. And Mr.
Well,
President, you wanted a moment of silence for this man?
I would like a strong and powerful moment of silence because that's it's just one of I think it's the greatest tragedy I've ever seen as an American. Ever. Never forget. 1/6/21. Never forget the Baltes.
it. I'm crying on the inside and the outside for that man. And I'll tell you the truth. I was next to him, and he fell on the ground and said, "Ow!" And I said, "Do it again for Trump. Do it again for Trump." And he tased his balls like a patriot, like every American should. And if I was legally allowed to own a taser, you bet I'd taser my nuts off right now for you, sir. I love
Uh,
you.
Thank you so much. And I think that just shows the left, the left, they're so afraid of tasers and they certainly don't have the balls to take a tase. They can't take a
Nope,
tase.
nope, because they're all transitioning. That's right. They all got their balls taken away because they're transitioning.
That's well, you know what? Yeah, I would agree. I would agree very strongly with that.
Yep, to
Brian,
little sissy boys.
Miss Brian Jeffrey Richardson, I wanted
Yes.
to ask you. So you were next to the man whose balls were tased. So you were actually in the Capitol. Can you please give us some inside information of what you
Mm-hmm.
actually did and were attempting to do? I've heard stories of people defecating on desks. Can you just give us the real inside info here?
Well, I'll tell you, people kind of, lovingly nicknamed me Bumping Brian because I kept bumping into people because I was Facebook Live in the whole thing. I just wanted to make sure everyone saw what I was doing. Just Patriots Day is really, I mean, I'm going to be honest. I've always celebrated Veterans Day, but I feel like that day is meant for me and these Patriots that were there that day. And, I'm going to be honest, we did give each other laxatives before we went in. We put it in our Schlitz, yep, and we drank it because we said we're running for freedom and we're going to get the runs doing it, and that's what we did. We had some real diarrhea dumps all over them desks, yep, just like what a real patriot who loves the country would do.
I mean, that's why Paul Revere. Nobody talks about how Paul Revere. The reason he went so fast on the horse is because he had to take a dump. So I think that the great patriots we had at the Capitol were basically doing that. They were. These are
I
Paul
mean,
Revere patriots. Okay, tech
they
stuff.
they are, and I gotta
You
say,
are. You say
Miss,
we. Excuse me. You can say we. You were there.
we
You are
we
we.
we and that's the last time I'll say that because it sounds French, but
It sounds
single
very
we,
French.
single we have a question. Is that the largest hat known to man because your brain's so big? How do you put a hat on that head with such a big brain? Huh?
It's up there. It's interesting that you bring that up because a lot of people have said, "Sir, you have maybe the biggest brain in the history of the world," and I
Mm-hmm.
tend to think that's true. So thank you for noticing. But I have great wealth, so I can custom make my hats for
Oh
you
God.
know.
And you
We
know,
my hats are but my they I have a hat size that they call special needs Barry
mm,
Bonds on steroids. It's that large, so
yes.
you got to get it custom.
I wanted
Yeah,
to,
and I just want to say also too,
of
I'm sorry,
course.
I just can't believe him with the president. You have so much money, and I just want to thank you for having me and the other patriots' best interest in mind. Most rich people are out of touch, but you really care with three K's in the beginning. You care. Thank you.
So much caring. It's thank you for noticing, and
Caring. Yes.
that's why I fought so hard for $2,000 for a weekend to get everybody
Oh,
$2,000, and then I decided very strongly that
mm,
600 was better because
it
we don't want
is.
to ruin people's work ethic if we give them too
No,
much money during a
I'm
pandemic.
I'm gonna work harder. and it's gonna make me lose weight because my family and I won't be able to eat. So thank you. My wife is getting to be a real fat ass, and I've been saying you gotta cut back.
No, that's
Martha.
true. And Michelle Obama, oh, exercise, eat your vegetables.
Blech,
Get the hell
blech,
out of here.
blech.
Starvation is the
Yes,
most proven. Just the
go.
way abstinence is the best sex education and
It
starvation
is.
is the best
Yes,
diet.
yes. Go show your arms in Rwanda, Michelle. That's what I say. Yep.
I have a question
Rwanda
for
Obama. I'm surprised they didn't have a kid named Rwanda Obama. Kind of rhymes, actually.
I have a
You are so smart.
I have a question for both of you. There has
Yes.
has been numerous riots this year,
By the
including
way, tech
storming.
stuff guy, what do you think you're a great patriot with a mustache? Did you grow that mustache to try and be a patriot? Because
Actually,
we know you're not a strong patriot.
it's actually
Yeah,
my
you use that mustache as a broom at your little glory holes you jumping around to around town, where you read each other the Communist Manifesto through a hole in the wall, huh?
no, it's actually my playoff
You,
mustache, but
you just turned up your volume. You did it last week. You just cranked it up.
I,
Very
I
rude.
I will get away from the mic. I have a very important question for
Disrespect.
both of you.
Yes.
There have been riots this year.
It turned up very loudly, and nobody wants to hear you that loudly, sir.
Are we good right now?
My ears hurt. My ears hurt. You're hurt. Trump, Mr. President, say something soothing to me so my ears feel better, please.
White power.
Oh, that's what I call my white noise machine. It's just you saying white power over and over again. And I can sleep like a baby at night.
Oh, that's a beautiful. Well, we should probably market that. I think that'll be one of the first products we sell after I leave the White House if I choose to leave the White House.
Yeah, over my dead body because I will die for you.
Okay, gentlemen, there have been riots this year, and I wanted to ask you if you can please rate the riots and critique them. It's the storming Capitol riots, the Antifa riots, and the BLM riots. Can you please tell me in order of greatness and just critique them a little bit? Maybe you guys can go back and forth discussing them.
Well, I just want to say, first of all, I love my job at the Steam Fitters Union. I don't want to get canceled, so BLM was number one. But if we're doing 1 to 5, 1 being the best, obviously it's the Capitol Hill. I mean, that was the favorite ride I was ever in. My least favorite ride was the one at Walmart when they wouldn't let me because I kept eating the deli meats in the meat aisle with my bare hands. I ride it that day. I'll tell you why I ride it. Mm-hmm.
Mr. President, what are your thoughts?
Well, the Antifa riots, very scary, but very weak. Like in other words, we have to shut them down. We have to shut Antifa down, but they were so weak
Shut it
and
down.
so easily
Shut it
shut down. Then obviously second best or second, least second, not as terrible, but still terrible was Black Lives Matter, which was a total disgrace.
PU.
They burned a police station. They burned all because the police killed an innocent man. So they all because of that. They burned down the station. What an overreaction!
Definitely.
Despicable with a capital B. Totally despicable.
And then, of course, the Capitol Hill riots, which were, peaceful protests of love.
Yep.
I think love of country, love of president,
Yeah.
love of Mountain Dew.
Can I just say, when we killed that police officer, who we, obviously we back the blue, except when it goes against our self-interest, but he had a fly on him. I said, shoot fly. And I was just trying to get a big little old bug off him. And it was just a misunderstanding. And sure, we hit him with a fire extinguisher, American flag pole, but it was just to get that little shoe fly off him. We meant no harm. God bless Trump.
And they're trying to say that this guy supported me, this police officer who apparently,
yes,
had an Antifa heart attack. I'm being told that Antifa gave him a heart attack, and we regret that. But he was supposed to be a Trump supporter, and which I found very interesting that they would say that, because if he was, why wasn't he tasing his own balls?
Oh, that is such a good point. Such a good point. Can we get a moment of silence for me for that point? Thank you.
You're welcome. Now,
I think he was
Thank you.
thanking. Excuse me, text. He was thanking me. Nobody thanks
Yeah,
you, tech stuff.
get your head out of your ass, and when you do, leave that mustache behind. I was talking to the president.
okay. Now, I wanted to know. You're saying it was peaceful protests. The story from Brian Jeffrey Richardson here kind of doesn't go along with your story, Mr. President, of peacefulness. People were running around trying to ask where senators were, trying to ask where their offices were. It seemed like people had violent intentions. Mr. Brian Jeffrey Richardson, can you confirm that people had violent intentions?
What? No, I don't have a violent bone in my body. And every single time my wife has pressed charges, she failed. And another thing, we were saying, excuse me, where's Pelosi's office, kind sir? We weren't just running around smoking weed on sacred ground. No, we was, pardon me, pardon everyone under Trump, pardon all of them, pardon Trump and pardon me. Where's the nice office so I can pray? That's what happened.
You know, and everybody said, oh, they were saying hang Mike Pence. Isn't that violent? No, they're aware that Mike Pence enjoys hung men. So they were just saying, you know, trying to support our vice president with something he likes.
Yes, and that's also why Baltase man was tasing himself. He wanted to enlarge and swell up his wang in remembrance of Mike Pence. So again, another patriot dead trying to do the right thing.
Well, I want to get right back into
Can we
this.
get another? Can we get another moment of silence from you for the president, please? Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I didn't say anything. Now,
Good.
I appreciate Brian Jeffrey Richardson. Now, back to this, Mr. Richardson, I wanted to ask you also how you felt about Mr. President's Twitter ban. I know a lot of this peaceful protest was organized online. Mr. President, you did elicit some of this action.
No, excuse me. It's been an attack on me the entire time, and you know it. Okay, first of all, they removed the rape videos from Pornhub, which was an attack on me, first and foremost.
I haven't gotten a boner since, tell you the truth.
Thank you. And they removed the underage content as well. Okay, so now I knew the internet was coming for me when they did that. So I was not surprised that Silicon Valley, you know, was going to attack me on my great social media.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, just like I saved all that underage porn because I knew they'd take it away, I also saved all of your tweets. I had them all printed out, and so I've begun just mailing them to people. I mail them every day, multiple times a day since I've been back. Not to where I'm from, because there are people looking for me, but I have mailed them to news outlets, the capitals, and just people. I hand them out on the street. I go tweet, 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 and I give them the good word of Trump. Trump.
Thank you for that. That's, you know, tech stuff. What are you doing that?
No, I'm not. But
Right.
I wanted.
No, I'm not.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Did you hear the sort of liberal fear in his voice, afraid to speak to his president?
The soy milk gives me a stutter.
I don't drink soy milk.
Well, your mustache says otherwise. Tell you what, buddy.
Well, your Twitter ban, you're also being kicked off many other social media platforms. You talked about making your own platform. Is that going to come true?
Well, you know what? We're looking at it right now. Trumpter. How about Trumpter? How's that sound?
I love it. I love it. And then whenever I see a hot chick on the street, I say, look at the Trumpter on her. Yep. Because when I see a big ass, I think of Trump. That's what I think. Yep.
Totally agree.
Totally agree. So how are you going to get everyone to sign up for Trumpter? I mean, I know you're probably going to use Brian Jeffrey Richardson will probably be one of your main guys going forward. But besides
I will
Brian,
do it. I will do it. I will do it in a heartbeat. I will kill myself for you. You say the word, I will kill myself. I will take the life out of my body.
We might do that for my first Trump. we're going to, instead of a tweet, we're calling it a treat. Get it? A Trump tweet. So Trumpter is going to have treats. And the first treat I post might be our great friend here killing himself because, that's sort of strong
Please.
viral content.
Please, I mean, my allegiance to you is I will kill myself in your name, much like those Islamic terrorists. I will do anything for you, and I will
accept better and stronger because you're not,
accept better and
it's technically
stronger,
not terror when you do
and-
it. It's called great patriotism.
and I will never see the glaring similarities of my actions and behaviors towards Islamic extremism or what they do on the left. I will never see the comparison, and I will never say, "Wow, it's like I'm looking into a distorted mirror," because it's different. Mm-hmm.
How would you kill yourself for the treat?
I mean, a treat.
And
for
by
me
the way,
killing
doesn't
myself.
that sound great? I could even hear African Americans saying, "Were you on the treat?" Like it sounds almost like a drug. It might get them more
Yep.
interested because they'll wonder, what is this, social media or is it crack?
Yep. And we all know how they're addicted to both. I mean, you just go to any Boost Mobile in any city and you'll see them. Are they getting crack or a cell phone playing? I don't know.
I
Maybe
actually
delete
just,
that.
by the way, I signed an endorsement deal with Cricket. Okay, so we've got a very strong cell phone company backing us for Trumpter.
Praise Trump. Praise Trump. Truly
also-
praise Trump.
We're gonna, if for Trumpter, what it's gonna be is everybody who signs up has to be authenticated, unless they're a bot, and then that's okay also. And then everybody automatically follows me.
Yes, I love it. And you know what, tech guy, Mr. Gay Man, take a picture of this face and use it on any bot you want. I would love to be the face of voter fraud, any sort of coup. I would love to be the face of it because I believe in you. And I mean, you asked a treat for how I'd like to go. I would love for you to just give me such a cum shot that it blows out the back of my head. I would die. I would love it.
Mike, he's talking to me. Okay, settle down. Our great Vice President, Mike Pence. You got
Speaking of
little
Mike
excited.
Pence, speaking of Vice President Pence, I wanted to know, Mr. Richardson, how do you feel about Vice President Pence? There were cheers of hang a Mike Pence, and now there's an ultimatum hanging over his head. Either he has to invoke the 25th Amendment, or there's a possible impeachment. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, to tell you the truth, I do not know what the 25th Amendment is, and I'm unsure of what impeachment is. But if he falls in line with the dictate, if he is dictated to do what wonderful Trump says, I will love him forever. And if he steps out of line, it will be my duty to blow myself up in his presence for my allegiance to Trump, because when I die, it will be worth it knowing I gave my life and soul to the good man that I would never, ever turn my back on, because I have been brainwashed to believe he truly has my best interest in mind. I love Trump.
Trump O Akbar. That's a new phrase we're going to be using very strongly with all my supporters. It's a total non.
Trouble Akbar. Trouble Akbar. I'll say it on the streets. Trouble Akbar. Trouble Akbar. I'm in New York City on the streets right now. Everybody, I hope people. This is not for a podcast. It's real life. Trouble Akbar.
Now,
Thank
Mr.
you.
President, what are your thoughts on the whole ultimatum, impeachment right around the corner, and then also people screaming horrible things at Mike Pence?
Let me tell you something. There's one thing Mike Pence likes. It's a lot of young, aggressive white men with muscles surrounding him and yelling at him and degrading him. Okay? So for everybody who thinks that made Mike Pence sad, trust me, it didn't. Okay? Are you busy, tech stuff guy? You're sort of missing great content here.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to.
Are you
take some notes
texting
here.
Antifa? Are you texting Antifa?
I'm taking notes. I'm sorry.
Why are you looking down and smiling? Did that turn you on, tech guy?
Yeah, I think that mustache is a strong Mike Pence fan.
Yeah.
what
What
I
do you
will
got
s-
in them books?
Just the
huh?
mustache.
Just the
Pictures of
mustache.
men?
Tech stuff Mercury. But no, Mike Pence has been very loyal. I understand he's under a lot of pressure from both sides, but he hasn't done the 69th Amendment yet, so we're feeling very safe with that. And, I think he's going to make radical left Nancy Pelosi with her big granny titties do something.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. I mean,
So
truthfully, that's why we were all storming the Capitol to lift her big granny titties up because we heard she needed a mammogram.
You
So
know,
we
we
were
had
again just there to help.
exactly. We had the boaters for Trump, and now we have the motor boaters for Trump.
God, you were just wonderful.
uh, there's too much stuff here. Now,
God, you were just
Do you
such
see?
a
Excuse me.
beautiful man.
Do you see the tech stuff guy already? He's getting so much patriotism and so much great content, conservative content. He's going, oh, it's too much. This is what
Hmm.
half of America loves America and wants more greatness and more prosperity, and the other half grow mustaches and say, no, please, sir, stop making it great. Stop giving us great
Just
things.
go suck a tailpipe that you wish was a dong, tech guy. Yeah, go suck some freedom out of that, buddy.
now, Mr. President, if Pence does invoke the 25th Amendment,
Bohemian podcastery. That's going to be your movie.
God, you were just such a fucking genius. Holy fuck.
But very stable as well.
Yes, stable.
are you expecting an impeachment? Because Mr. President, you know, if you get impeached, you lose a lot. If you get impeached, you can't run in 2024. You have no Secret Service. You lose out on. There's a whole list of things that
He
you
can't.
basically
He can't.
presidential. You will
He
not.
can't. He can't run for president of the United States. But by then, we gonna have our own country called Trump Erica, and he's gonna run for that, and he will be the president, and he will be the god of Trump Erica. You stupid fucking moron! Think ahead.
Yeah, you know, as I've always said, tech stuff guy, you're playing checkers and we're playing go fish. Okay.
That's right. And
totally-
with
you
you,
totally
with
don't
you,
get it.
sir, I always fish for what I wished.
Bars.
God, bars, which I am not allowed back in any of because when I get alcohol in my body, I cannot stop screaming my allegiance to you. But it's worth it.
Oh shit, you guys are great. We have two
Oh, it's
more.
a little too late for that tech stuff guy. We know where you're real. We know you're a radical left.
Yeah, stick your
Podcast
nose
guy.
up Antifa's ass instead, soy boy.
We have two more pieces of news, and then I'm going to let Mr. Richardson go, and we'll end this thing. But this. I appreciate both of you being here tonight, really shining some light on the cause and shining some light on the future of America. Now, the White House and Bill Barr are warning you, Mr. President, not to self-pardon or go on the pardon palooza that was listed on the last episode. Which I think was a bonus episode. So patreon.com/MPGA. Check that out, everyone. And also
that that is my favorite Incubus song when he goes, "Pardon me, Mr. Trump, because I'm going to jail for storming the Capitol. Pardon me, Brian Richardson, Mr. Trump. Please, please, I'm going to lose everything I worked for in my life because I thought it was a good idea to storm the Capitol."
You should be on American Idol.
You are the American Idol, so
Oh,
I'm on
thank
it
you.
right now.
Again, it's patreon.com/MPGA. On January 20th, we have a special inauguration episode at 8 p.m. Eastern with the president. Perfect 10. It's a Q&A. Join the Patreon. Sign up. You're going to want to just sign up for this month for the inauguration episode. It's patreon.com/MPGA. It's January 20th, 8 p.m. Eastern for the Perfect 10 Patreon Patriots.
Yep. I'll tell you, that's where half of my stimulus check is going to. Yep. To that Patreon. I will be able to afford your Patreon for 2 months with the stimulus check. Thank you.
It's a beautiful thing. What was your question? The pardon
My question
palooza?
about, pardon palooza, your self-pardon. People are warning you not to self-pardon. And I know, Mr. President, when people warn you not to do something, are you going to pardon yourself as of tomorrow?
Well, when you're married to an ice cold Transylvanian whore who's very moody, you find yourself having to pardon yourself quite a bit in your spare time. But what I will tell you is I'm going to pardon myself, but here's what I'm going to really do. And I think our great friend is going to like this even more than you. I'm going to pardon everyone who raided the Capitol.
Yes.
And then we're going to see, and then I will have an army and a total allegiance, total loyalty. I am going to pardon them, and I'm going to baptize them in Mountain Dew at the pardoning. And that's when they will be reborn in the spirit of Donald J. Trump Christ. And then
Yes.
we will have something that this country has never had before.
What's that?
Yes. Spray me with your freedom.
A freedom-loving religious death cult for patriotism.
I love it. I love it. Are you Reba McEntire? Because that is music to my ears.
Well, you can
cool.
find me on my handle on Trumpter is Toby Queef. So just as a shout out to the country music fans.
I love it. Remember when Garth Brooks had an alter ego for a year? That was weird.
What a weirdo.
That
Was
was
it?
what was he tech? Was he tech guy of the country world? Come on.
Unbelievable. Alan, what was his name? Like Alan Gaines or something? Chris Gaines.
Chris Gaines.
Chris
Yep.
Gaines. What a loser. Girth,
What
you
a
know what? My
loser.
country name would be Girth Brooks. We did that on a
That's right.
Patreon episode. It's called Girth Brooks.
No one's bigger than you, President Trump. No one's bigger than you.
6'5", 215 pounds.
I wanted to ask Brian.
Love. What?
Brian Jeffrey, how do you feel about Ivanka Trump?
I mean, if I could speak out of turn for a second, I would love to just be with her and honor her, because in that way I could just smell the smells that you've left upon her, and that would bring me to just total eclipse of my heart.
Well, you know what? That's a great respectful way to say that.
Yep.
Because there are certain things that are only between a daughter and a father and aren't to be shared with strong supporters. So thank you for showing that great respect.
You're welcome.
And no, I agree. If I was not Ivanka's father, let me put it this way: I wouldn't stop at third base.
That's right. It never stopped you before.
Oh, geez, Louise, Mr. President, and Brian Jeffrey, I want to just thank you so much for joining us this week. I know people are looking for you. You're on the no-fly list. You are basically running from the law. You're on the lam, and we appreciate you joining us for this Zoom call.
A very strong pardon is coming your way, though, so don't you worry.
Thank you. Please do it quick, because I'm about to throw myself into traffic for you. I will, in the name of Trump. Oh, sorry. Okay, not yet. You say the word, and it is team go. I will lay down for you.
I sort of want some of my supporters to get arrested just so I can then do the pardon, so they can just walk out as together with great pride.
Yes.
The last piece of news, Mr. President and Brian Jeffrey, the Trump your national press secretary, Hogan Gidley, what a name. He called you the most masculine president ever.
Yep.
Okay, what are we just saying facts now? I don't understand the question. So 2 + 2 is 4.
Okay. Yeah, water is wet, shithead. Move on.
So you are more masculine than JFK. You're more masculine than Obama.
Excuse me,
more masculine than George Washington. You're more masculine than Thomas Jefferson. More masculine than FDR.
Tech guy. Shut up, tech guy. Shut up. Trump is talking.
Thank you. Appreciate it. That's the kind of loyalty I like. Now, here's the thing, tech stuff. Okay, we have another tech bites the dust. That's what I'm calling your mustache now. But what I will say to you is, JFK had to rely on consent for most of his affairs.
Coward.
Okay, total coward. Okay, waste of time. Obama, okay, was skinny and ate salads. Not very, his wife was stronger than him physically. How can you be masculine if your wife is stronger? And I don't mean that as an insult. She was literally stronger than him. George Washington didn't even have his own teeth. Okay.
Nope.
And very weakly sold his slaves when he died. He released his slaves upon his death.
You'll never release yours. You'll never release yours.
Never. They're already, my son Brendan is inheriting them.
Good.
Okay, so I don't know
if you need another, say the word.
Well, that's what I love. That's basically what we're going to form. When I baptize the Trump army in Mountain Dew, it's basically going to be a combination of Scientology and the bar scene in The Accused. That's basically sort of what we're forming, the movement we're forming.
Yes. What do you think of that, tech guy, you fat bottom girl? Huh? What do you think of that?
I think it's a good insult that you just had there. And honestly, I think I lost control of this episode. It's all you guys. So I'm just going to go with the flow here because I feel I'm the power of MAGA is
And your
I cannot
mustache
handle
wants to break free.
he does. He does. He does.
I bet you ride a bicycle, queer. Which is funny coming from me, but with a little inside baseball.
Oh shit. Brian Jeffrey Richardson, thank you so much for joining us.
One of our greatest, if not our greatest guest.
Yes,
Thank
definitely.
you. Thank you.
Early MPGA Award nominee contender.
Oh, for sure.
2021.
Definitely.
If I'm not dead from a self-inflicted gun wound to the head because I've deciphered a secret message you have given me to die for you, I will gladly accept it.
We want to thank betonline.ag for sponsoring us this episode. Very strong. And for the football playoffs, go on there, betonline.ag, make some bets this weekend. And on January 20th, we have the inauguration episode, 8 p.m. Eastern time. It's for the Perfect 10 Patreon Patriots and a Q&A with our president on inauguration. It's patreon.com/MPGA. Brian Jeffrey Richardson, you joined us again. We really appreciate it. You are awesome. If you are a listener and you love the Joe Exotic episode, well, this is Joe Exotic also. This is Ian Fidance. He is awesome comic from New York City. Check him out on Twitter at Ian Fidance, IANFIDANCE. Ian, you're awesome. Thanks for joining us again, man.
Thank you guys.
Bro.
This was a fucking blast. I have an Instagram, IANIMAL69, and that's also my Twitch. I stream every day. If you could check that out, I appreciate it.
Anything else to plug? Anything upcoming?
Yeah, I got a run of shows on Sirius called Ian's Infinite Playlist, Raw Dog, Sirius XM Channel 99, every Friday at 1 p.m. And this was like the highlight of my year so far. This is so fun. Thank you, guys.
Awesome, Ian. Thanks for joining us.
Very much.
And Mr. President, any parting words for us?
Just know that in the next 9 days, I'm going to rain hell upon America. But other than that, I hope everybody's doing well. And, I look forward to post-presidency. So we already have a library planned in between, as I've said, in between two strip clubs in Tampa. So it's going to be called the Titty Fuck Presidential Library. So we're looking forward to that.
If I knew how to read, I would go there.
It'll be mostly interactive, and we'll have Melania and Ivanka replicas that people can sort of, for different levels of money, enjoy.
I love it. And if we can pull Tech Guy out of giving HJs in the bathroom, it would be nice to meet you in the Titty Fuck Library.
Absolutely. So and everybody, hello everybody, it's JL. That wasn't really true. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sticking with us. I know some people out there understandably think maybe this isn't the most fun time to talk about this stuff, but not you guys, because you listen to this podcast and you understand how depraved and horrible it's been for years. So thank you for sticking with us. Share it with a like-minded friend. For somebody who is still looking for good laughs this week or this month or this year, be sure to spread the word about the podcast. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Tech Stuff Guy.
Thank you, man.
God help us all.
Woo, you said.